This NASCAR 2024 Xfinity Series Championship Futures Update edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is giving away $15 million in Best Ball Mania 5. Sign up with our promo code RACESGPN to claim your first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code RACESGPN. We are also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm has the best AI picks and projections, and their football models are almost live. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'll wreck my mom to win a championship. I'll wreck your mom to win a championship.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
It refrains me from not beating the out of you right now because you ask me stupid questions. But since I'm on probation, I suppose that's improper to say as well. If you could talk about racing things, we could talk about racing things.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
SVG. Oh yeah, Xfinity Series. Let's go.
You got it. And he's the cover guy for this episode. So for sure, we are going to be talking heavily about our favorite driver from down under. SVG. Is New Zealand still down under? I don't know. Whatever. Welcome in everybody to the 60 minutes a day that I get to talk NASCAR without eyes glazing over and me being told to leave the room and go talk to Cody. It is, of course, the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez, and yes, as Cody alluded to, we are talking the 2024 Xfinity Series Championship Futures here. We've already had folks in the chat before we even get going. This is what I love about the show. Rye Cape checking in. Fellas, what's up, Rye? And then, of course, our buddy Justin over there, old-fashioned football. Engines have been started. My engine has been started. Ooh, Justin, this is not After Dark, my friend. This is still a PG-13.
Oh, look, speaking of down under, hopefully Nico was here in time for the SVG chant. G'day, gents, he says. Hello G'day, there, Nico. Good, happy Wednesday to you, our friend.
I love the international flavor of this show. I love that we have fans from Australia that actually give a damn about what we're talking about. And
Australia, Canada, we're all over the place.
Internet, worldwide, kids, worldwide. Rye Cape chiming in saying the Olympic break is poop emoji. Yes, indeed it is.
Yeah,
emoji.
like 1 week would have been enough. I would have been okay with that. You know, I got to take my vacation, get away. But yeah, Sunday was like the saddest day of the entire year. My family, I think, enjoyed it. But we got back from vacation. We're just sitting around, and it was like, there should be a race on. Like, there's not a football. Like, no football on. There's no race on. Like, nothing. It just everything was done, and it was like, oh my God. So we watched some movies, and that was all good and fun, and it was nice to spend time with the family before football season gets going. But yeah, boy, it just I'm ready for a race to be back.
Felt like early shades of COVID when all the sports started to shut down, and like you went to flip on a game and there was nothing. You're like, what am I doing today? How do I live life? Where are sports?
Don't remind us of that dark time, bro.
Well, hey, listen, it almost felt like that. What did I manage to find to watch? I think I watched something obscure because that's what
I do like. I would not have mind being able to have had this show and bet on the iRacing. Although I don't remember. I'm trying to remember if there was odds for that or not, because NASCAR was pretty quick to get it. They had the iRacing, the weekly, series where they did that. But yeah, anyways, let's focus forward.
Well, hey, listen, remember that one sports book that I found that you could actually bet on like marbles? And dive down the rabbit hole with me, my friends. I love that. Justin, one more time saying, don't forget Iowa plus. He's 132nd Cherokee Indian. It's got to count for some kind of diversity. Hey, it does. I'm in there somewhere too, but for sure. All right. Let's start talking about some NASCAR because that's what we're here to talk about. But first, let's talk about NFL. Sports Gambling Podcast launched their 32 NFL team previews. And as a bonus, each team preview will include a code word. If you got your decoder rings out, now is the time to drink your Ovaltine. You can submit the 32 code word phrase, and you can be the lucky winner who gets a $500 NFL Circa future bet. So subscribe wherever you get your podcast and the SGPN app. And kids, don't forget to drink your Ovaltine. You love it?
Yes, I love it. And it's made me so happy to begin listening to these NFL futures. It's here. Hall of Fame game is in a couple of days. NFL season is here, Rod. I love it. But first, Xfinity season continues. They have the longest regular season left. They still have 6 regular season races for Xfinity. We've got to go. I don't know if you realize this, Rod, but another week off because they are not back next week on with the other team or with Cup and Trucks at Richmond. They're taking yet another week off. They'll be back at Michigan on the 17th, but they 6 races left in the regular season. Of course, they only have 12 drivers in the playoffs instead of 16, and it's only 7 races instead of 10 compared to the Cup Series. So, we've got a bit to go before we set the field, of course. But, I think now's probably as good a time as any to jump into the odds and walk through it like we did yesterday with the Cup Series.
Yeah, again, it's exactly the way we'll do it, too. We'll just take a look through the books and kind of comb our way through, talk about some of these favorites. Tell you this, Rutch, though, when you look at the favorites for the Cup Series and then you weigh them against the odds for the Xfinity Series, there is a marked difference in the favorites and how short these odds are for these drivers. And honestly, I guess I understand, but with a lot of races left, I kind of don't understand at the same time. So, like we did yesterday with the Cup Series, we'll just sort of walk our way down the list and we'll talk about some of these drivers and where they're at and where we think they should be and if they're correctly priced. And would we take a stab at them with halfway through this season, a little farther away from the playoffs than we are both other series. But Cody.
Before we get into it, Rod, I want to make sure that you have your button handy because it's going to come into play real quickly. Old-fashioned football saying the Hall of Fame game where the Tyson Special Agent will start. I know that Justin over there excited to watch his Bears play in that game. And Special Agent Bajent, of course, he was used in some fantasy leagues last year, Rod.
Just 1 or 2, maybe even 1 or 2 of mine, just on accident.
So, these Superflex dynasties, you get when injuries start piling up, you'll start any quarterback that's going to see any playing time.
Dude, so, Scott Fishbowl, if you got to grab bodies, just pulse, man. If you got a pulse, get on my roster because
what it's about.
Yeah, waiver wires are like.
I'll be in some DraftKings lineups. Don't worry, and Bajan might just make it into them. But all right, Rod.
Let's start at the top.
Let's start at the top. Who's at the top, Rod?
So, look, I'm gonna break these first 3 off because these 3, I think we'll kind of do it the way we did it last week, yesterday rather. Chandler Smith at the top of the list, just about everywhere. But here's the thing: Chandler Smith on DraftKings plus 260, Chandler Smith on Caesars plus 250, Chandler Smith on Bet365 plus 275. I mean, let's just stop there. Let's stop there. Why on God's green earth is Chandler Smith? He's got 2 wins on the season. I get that. He's locked in the playoffs, but what is he doing this short and what's he doing at the top of the odds board?
Man, I need to look back and see what I got him for at the beginning of the season because it was a much bigger number than this. Plus 260, not going to touch this. I'm not even saying his name right now, Rod, because I'm very upset with him.
Hold on.
I think that I'm not saying. Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
I get this, but I don't. This is a case of you kind of wish that it was a little bit of William Byron syndrome where he's not been doing good lately. We kind of forget about him. He drops down the board. Okay, you snag him. Hopefully you listened to us early in the season and got him at a much bigger number than this because it's not going to be worth taking this at plus 260. I think the reason he's the favorite, what's the best team in the field? What's the fastest cars? It's Joe Gibbs Racing. Don't try to say JRM, Rod, because it's not. It's Joe Gibbs Racing. These are the fastest cars. Chandler Smith's probably the best driver in the Xfinity Series. I think it's been rough for a few weeks. We get that. He's going to be fine. He's going to fix it. He won at Phoenix earlier this season. He's won at Phoenix before. He's been very good there. And if he can get there, he is going to be a big-time threat. So not too worried about that. I mean, he's fourth in the regular season standings, third in the playoff standings. I'm a little bit surprised that he's the favorite just because of how they've been running lately. But I think when you look at the full picture, how good and strong he was early in the season, how good and strong that team is. Yes, they're going through a lull right now. Maybe they're testing stuff like William Byron. Who knows? We have no idea. But he's going to be fine. I'm very glad that I got invested in on him early because plus 260 is a big no for me.
Yeah, plus 260 just doesn't feel right. I mean, again, look at his season, okay? He did start off with a bang. Outstanding start to the season, through 7 races, never finished outside of the top 10 in any of those. Only one time did he finish outside of the top 5, which was over on the road course in Austin, right? And then a 15th at Texas, 25th at Talladega. But ever since, I would say, Charlotte, where he finished 18, that's been a lot more miss than hit. 35th at Portland, 7th at Sonoma, 8th at Iowa, 15th at Loudon, 2nd at Nashville, 38th at Chicago, 15th at Pocono, 33rd at Indianapolis. I mean, when you talk about drivers that you want to peak at the right time, it's not peaking at the right time. He peaked at the beginning. He's sort of cooled off. Can he catch fire again?
You don't need to peak right now. You still got 6 races left in the regular season, so they've got time to figure stuff out, time to get things fixed, and I think that they will. And I expect to see Chandler Smith in the Final Four. I hope he's there. I'm a massive shareholder in Chandler Smith stock already, so I want to see it, but I would not take more at this number. At plus 260, plus 275, it's just the number's not big enough.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a trap because any one of these other drivers can come up and snatch it from him, up to and including Cole Custer, the returning series champion, at 3-1 over on DraftKings, 350 over on Caesars, and then at Bet365 he is 300 as well. So Cole Custer, returning champion, can he repeat? I mean,
yeah, of course he can. I mean, he just did it last season. We know how good of a driver really, Rod, he's a Cup Series driver down in the Xfinity for a couple of seasons, right? We already know he's going back to the Cup Series next year. He's going to be the one driver that takes over the Haas Automation team. And we just saw him win it last year. He got it done. So you can't say that he can't do it. You look recent form, goodness, he won at Pocono and almost won last week at Indy if Herbst wouldn't have run him down at the end there. So he's one you can't count out, but much like a Ryan Blaney, it's always just so unsexy to bet on Cole Custer because you never get a good enough number to really make it worth it. He's not the guy that generally comes out and dominates a bunch. Like, he just kind of hangs around there and shows up and wins when he needs to. So could Cole Custer go back-to-back? Absolutely. Don't want to bet on that at 3-1. Also, no.
Yeah, I guess, though, if I were to pick between Chandler and Custer to place a wager on at their numbers right now, if I was forced to
I'm still
pick,
taking Chandler.
I don't know, though.
There's
I mean, if you
such
look
a higher upside with Chandler, I think.
there is, but when you talk consistency, Cole Custer's leading the points right now. He's only got 1 win on the season, 16 top 10s, 1 win, 9 top 5s in 20 races.
Yeah, so he'll consistent his way to the Final Four, but does that mean he's going to show up and have the best, fastest car? Whereas Smith will. Smith over Custer for me. And Nico disagrees. He agrees with you, Rod. So noted, Nico. I'll the stewards will review that, but just kidding.
I would love nothing more than to have a head-to-head on this one, like who finishes higher in that. If there was something like that.
Yeah. And luckily we do have some of those options for the Cup Series, which we're going to talk about in a couple of days when we come back on the prop side of the future stuff. But yeah, give it to us in Xfinity. Why can't we have it in Xfinity and Trucks, Rod? We have it in the Cup Series. Would it be that hard? This would be a great matchup. You've got 2 guys basically at the same odds. Let us pick and choose.
If only we lived in a world where we could start to do that ourselves. Maybe, just maybe something like that comes along one day. All right, I'm going to save the next driver for the other side of the break because I feel like this is going to warrant a little more of a conversation than I have time for right now. So let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy just launched their Underdog Streaks. Hit your first 2 pick'em entries and then go streaking. But please keep your clothes on because I don't want you guys to get arrested. I want you to be able to listen, unless you can listen to podcasts in jail, in which case, I don't know, man. Nude it up. Go. You do you. If you can get an 11-0 run, you can win up to 1,000 times. Plus, Best Ball Mania is live with $15 million in prizes. You can use specials and boost on all flex entries as well. We'll be loading those up as soon as we get there again. And check it out. I think I've got a video coming out, so you can use part of what I'm going to give you in your flexed entries as well. So go sign up now with our promo code RACESGPN to claim your special pick. I don't care what form of clothing you have on, whether it's none, whether it's a whole bunch, just go do that right now. If you haven't signed up for Underdog Fantasy, sign up with our promo code RACESGPN. You're going to get a first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code RACESGPN. Odds Jam is your one-stop shop for beating the sportsbook. Odds Jam uses millions of data points across every U.S. and Canadian sportsbook to show you the best value plays for your money. Their line shopping tool shows you the best price for any bet you want to make across countless sportsbooks, not just DraftKings and FanDuel, but even BetOnline, Bovada, Cut, and many more. The arbitrage tool will find opportunities where you can bet both sides of the same prop on different sportsbook to guarantee a positive ROI. Their new fantasy tool features the highest EV plays relative to the sportsbook's odds, allowing you to crush sites like Underdog Fantasy. They even have a tool for finding the best sign-up bonuses too. So if you're interested in trying out Odds Jam, you can get a 7-day free trial by using the link below. But don't forget to enter the promo code SGPN to get 35% off of the first month of your subscription. OddsJam.com, promo code RACESGPN. Well, Cody, as we look to the next driver on there,
Denny Hamlin next on the list.
Denny Hamlin next on the list, right? For some reason, for the same reason Rod mentioned, he's been consistent driver. Oh, okay. Nico backing me up again. I love it. All right. The next driver on the list,
Denny Hamlin.
My man.
Denny Hamlin, very good driver, really consistent. He's always in the mix. He's been in the series a long time. He's a veteran of the sport. Hasn't made it to the championship win just yet, but we think he's got it in him. Oh, wait, that's Justin Allgaier. Sorry. Justin Allgaier is the next guy on the list, but same story as Denny Hamlin as we talked about yesterday, Rob.
Indeed. Justin Allgaier 4-1 at DraftKings, plus 425 over on Caesars, and then plus 400 over on Bet365. I mean, look, Justin Allgaier has the one win this season. And that's the frustrating part for Justin Allgaier because he was so close to winning another race. He's been right there all season long doing the greatest things that he can do. He's second in the point standings right now overall. He's got
he leads the playoff standings though by a lot. I mean, he's got they've got this weird. Oh, I think Custer's. So they're factoring in, wow, that's what NASCAR and the way that they format these things are strange. Okay, I don't know. He's first in the playoff standings. Never mind. Just move on.
Justin Allgaier is?
Yeah, he's first in the, so NASCAR on their app, they break it down by the driver standings and then the playoff standings. But like SVG actually has the most playoff points, but is fifth in the standings. But I think that's because they're factoring in the points earned based on where they would finish currently, but they don't have that worked in, so you can't actually see how many points, so it looks really stupid and funny, and I wish I wouldn't have said anything about it.
What's funny though is that in playoff standings, I'm even seeing on the website SVG is first. So
yeah, which would make more sense because he has the most amount of playoff points. But but I think that NASCAR is factoring in where they would be if it ended today, and Allgaier would get the second place points in the regular season, then he would jump everyone and be at the top. So
okay.
Anyways, sorry again. Yes.
Look at however it happens. I don't care. But Justin Allgaier, 12 top 10 finishes this season in 20 starts, 6 top 5s, that one win. I mean, as far as consistency goes, he has been too. It's a lot like Cole Custer in that he's been consistent in the fact that he's been inconsistent at times when he needed to be. So, yeah, listen, for Justin Allgaier 4-1. sadly enough, I still don't like this number for him. I still think it should be longer because he
But
hasn't.
it's never gonna be longer. That's the problem. Like if you want to take it, you can take it because it's gonna open the season this way. It's gonna stay this way all season. It's gonna be this way going into the Final Four. Like you're just never gonna get a bigger number on him because he's too consistent. He's too good. He's got the ability to win. He used to own and dominate Phoenix. He used to be so good there. Like this was his chance. They moved the championship there, and he just it's the exact same story as Denny Hamlin. Like guy that's been doing it forever, and he's always there. He's always in the mix, always in the Final Four. Just can't seem to get the championship done. Got a new crew chief this year. Maybe that changes some things. I don't like him as much as the next guy on the list who I would take over him as far as where the numbers at and stuff. But Allgaier, it's the same case as Denny Hamlin. He's been doing it a long time, and he's never gotten it done. That gives you a little bit of pause for sure, but he should be there, and he's got just as good a chance as anybody else to get it done.
Yeah, and it makes me sad because you know how much I love JRM, you know how much I love Justin Allgaier, but at 4-1, I just don't. I feel like he's being respected enough as the driver that he is, but as far as playoff chances are concerned and championship chances are concerned, I mean, if he was 7-1, if he was 750-1,
yeah, we'd be all over it. But that's why
I hammer that.
Yeah,
no,
that's why we're never going to see
do it.
and I don't think I've ever seen Allgaier that long. Like he just always is one of these favorites. He's always at a low number. It's much like Denny Hamlin. Even if Denny Hamlin's going through a rough stretch, they don't adjust his number because he's going to bounce back. He's going to be good, and that's just kind of how it goes. So that's where you're at with Allgaier again. You're not going to say it's a bad bet because I don't think it necessarily is, but it's hard to love him at that number, especially when you could probably just wait till we get closer to the race and take it at that point.
Yeah. I mean, you could, that's the thing too. You're holding this till the end of the season. You might as well just bet him at 400 for something random in a race and then you win. So you can make your money that way. I think that's a much better use of it. So, all right. Next driver on that list is his teammate, Sam Mayer. 5-1 for Sam Mayer. And then 550-1 on Bet365. On Caesars.
Both of them.
And Caesars. Yep. So
yeah, absolutely love this. You know how much I love Sam Mayer. You know how much I believe in Sam Mayer. He can get it done. We saw how hot he got at the end of last season, tearing it up. He had a very, 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 very rough start to the season. Everything went wrong for this kid, but they've turned things around. I know he had a rough race last week, but they've turned things around, and he's been doing really well. He's performing at the level you would expect him to be. He can go out, absolutely dominate everything in the playoffs, win every one of these races. Going to be a factor at Phoenix. Plus 550, I think, is still a good number. I think that he's still not quite being respected enough where he should be. And if you want to get in Sam Mayer, get in on it now, because when he starts ripping off wins as we get farther down along in the playoffs, this number is not going to stay there.
Yeah, he does have 2 wins right now, but he's 12th in the points overall. So that's the rough spot. He's kind of holding on to that last regular season 12th spot. But yeah, I mean, he's in the playoffs.
He does have 11 playoff points too already, so that definitely helps him a little bit. He's obviously not sitting that far down in the regular season standings. He's not going to get those bonus points, so he's probably going to shake out. If NASCAR's got this correct, he would be 8th place. If the playoffs were to start today in the playoff standings. But so there could be a little concern there, but Sam Mayer can get it done, and this kid's got a really bright future. He's already proven enough, and we just, how many times have we bet on him this year because the number's not right, they're sleeping on him, and then he comes out and he cashed all these tickets for us. Like, I don't know that an Xfinity driver's made us more money than Sam Mayer has this year, despite the rough start that he had to the season, and I think that it's the same case here for his future.
Well, yeah, rough start. 36th at Daytona, 11th in Atlanta, 38th at Las Vegas, 34th at Phoenix, 9th at Coda, 30th at Richmond. But
it was rougher than I remember.
Well, and if you look at the last few weeks, it's almost been equally as rough. A 10th in Nashville, which a 10th place finish for most drivers is great. But when we're talking Sam Mayer, you want top 5s, right? 19th at Chicago, 10th at Pocono, 37th last week at Indy. Obviously, he crashed, but I mean, that stretch of 4 races that it's been sort of hot potato, cold potato has, I think maybe, I don't know, because I didn't look at the futures before those 4 races, but you got to think that before that, he might have been a little bit shorter, and now that might be driving the train to the plus 550. So, yeah, if you're going to jump on it, I think jumping on it now is the right way, like you said, because
I think it's a good time, and I like it. Yeah.
So, all right, Sam Mayer at plus 550. All right, let's take one more. Actually, let's talk one more driver. Let's do that. Austin Hill plus 650 on DraftKings, plus 700, so 7-1 on Caesars, and then plus 650 also on Bet365. Cody, can I interest you in some Austin Hill at that price? He's third in the point standings right now. He's got those 2 wins. I mean, you want to talk about a guy that can consistent you to death, but this season doesn't seem like it's been as consistent as most.
It's not been as consistent as most, which I think is something to note. 7-1, I think, is probably the right, like, it's right there where it makes me consider it, but maybe the number's not big enough. I don't know where I'm at on Austin Hill. Can Austin Hill get there and do it? Absolutely he can. We know how good Austin Hill is. We know he puts himself in the right positions. He probably should have made the Final Four last year. His teammate at the time, Sheldon Creed, kind of fucked that up for him. He's kind of out for revenge. Is he in consideration for any of these? There's a lot of rides out there still, right? And we're kind of, I don't know. I mean, but, or is he in the future plans for RCR? Is Austin Dillon retiring soon? Is he going to the 3-car? I don't really know. But, man, I don't know. I don't know that this number is big enough. I know that Austin Hill can get there. I know that he can be there. And if he's there, he's a threat. But I don't know that the number's big enough for me to want to race to it and go place a bet on Austin Hill right now. I might hope that the number slips a little bit more. Keep an eye on it as we go towards the playoffs. If he has some rough weeks and maybe jump on it 9-1, 10-1, I'd feel a lot better about it. With Sam Mayer right ahead of him, with some of these guys right behind him, I'd rather have them, I think, than Austin Hill at this short of a number.
Well, and the thing about Hill, too, you look at what he did earlier this season in Phoenix. He did come in 4th in that particular race. So, by and large, you kind of have to win Phoenix, right? I mean, he's never won a race at Phoenix.
We thought I know before, Rod, but we even saw it in the Cup Series last year. You don't have
We did.
For the first time ever in this format.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, more often than not.
But Austin Hill can just show up and win a race, too. Like, it's not that he can't do it. Like, when we talk about Jesse Love in a minute, can Jesse Love win a Phoenix type of race? We're not to that point yet, right? And we're going to make that case in a second. But Austin Hill can just show up and win any given week. I mean, that's not super far-fetched of an idea. So I get it, but he's kind of that third tier of JB. Is SVG living rent-free in Hill's head? He absolutely fucking is.
1,000%.
Yeah. So the numbers are just not big enough for me.
Yeah, I'm not in on Austin Hill right now. I just don't see it happening for him. So yeah, I would stay away from this. I mean, even at maybe 10 to 12 to 1, I still don't know that I'd entertain that thought, because
I think at 10 to 1, I would consider it more for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He could get there, and if he gets there and does it, it's not going to be super surprising. It's just, is it worth betting on it as a number? Again, that's where you have to separate what can be done versus the numbers, right? And that's where you have to balance things out. So it's not that he can't do it for sure. Is the number good enough to make you want to bet on it? I just don't think you're getting enough value.
I agree with you on that one. All right, we'll be back with more, but first let's tell you about Rhythm. If you're not checking out the AI picks and props from Rhythm, you're missing out. They just predicted a bunch of winners for the 3M Open, and their football models are about to drop. You can even customize your own betting models easy using Rhythm's tools. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Circa Sports is back with Circa Survivor and Circa Millions, giving away $16 million in guaranteed prizes. Imagine the regret that you'd feel sitting there on your rocking chair, if you have one. I don't know if you do. I don't see your house plan, but whatever. If you win your office Survivor pool, but you didn't even enter the Circa Survivor, don't have a trip booked for Las Vegas yet before football, Ultimate Contest Weekend is a great time to go out. Hang with Sean and Ryan. Enjoy some of the open bar events at the greatest sportsbook in the world, August 22nd through August 24th. Use promo code SGP15 to save 15% on your hotel room for sign-up weekend. Sign up in person at Circa Sports between now on September 7th and use a proxy to play from anywhere. We even have a deal with footballcontestproxy.com to save you $50 with promo code SGP. All right, Cody, next on the list just happens to be young Jesse Love, 9-1. This is where we start to get interesting, Cody. 9-1 for Jesse Love on DraftKings, 8.5-1 on Caesars, and Jesse Love 9-1 over on Bet365.
Ricardo in the chat checking in. What up, boys? Is this where things get interesting, Rod? This is the least interested I am in anything we've talked about and or are going to talk about in a few minutes. And it's nothing against Jesse Love. I love Jesse. I think he's a great young talent. I think he's going to be a driver that's going to be around a long time. I think we're going to see a lot of great stuff about him. But 9-1 for a young, very young rookie here in RCR equipment. Yes, it's been good, but we just talked about Austin Hill, the veteran who's a Truck Series champion, who's super, competitive and stuff. And Love's got a win already. It's great, right? Sheldon Creed can't even win a race. Love's already won one. Thought it was a super speedway. Can he show up at Phoenix and get this done at 9-1? What? I honestly, like, if he was 20-1, I don't know that I would want to bet on him, Rod. Like, it just, yeah. There's zero interest for me in Jesse Love anywhere near this number. And it's, again, nothing against Jesse Love. I think he's a great kid, bright future, but it's not his time to win a championship. And if it is, maybe if he gets it done, great. Not worth it at 9-1.
Yeah, tough for a rookie to do it, though. Nico, though, saying rookie of the year would be an interesting betting market. I would absolutely
Love versus SVG. I mean, that's really the market, right? That
right
would be, yeah. Give me some SVG, baby.
I would say that the only thing that makes this, I think, intriguing in the books' mind, and first of all, I say interesting because I knew exactly where you were going with that, so it definitely gets interesting from your take on this one, but was that runner-up finish at Phoenix earlier in the year? I mean, he's proven that.
Did he really finish second there?
He really did finish second in Phoenix earlier this season. Started seventh, finished second. That was one of his second. That was
I would need to go back and look and see what caused him to finish second. Did he just run that good? I don't. That race is just not coming to me off the top of my head, but
that was the one that opened all of our eyes, Cody. That was the one that.
Yeah, and so I guess like that's kind of the maybe little bit of a glimmer of, but look how good he finished at Phoenix. But I still in the championship 4. If Jesse Love gets to the championship 4, yeah, like that is great, awesome. But even if he gets there, is he gonna beat 3 other elite Xfinity drivers for the championship this season? Man, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, no, and I'm there for you as well too. So it's just it's just interesting because he's in the conversation. A lot of rookies aren't in the conversation right now. A couple of them are, and they're dominant. They're dominant in that conversation. So yeah, for sure, Jesse Love, one of those guys.
Ricardo wants the F1 parlay with SVG winning the championship. We'll talk about SVG in a few. He's coming up on the list. JB says Love seems like he has Wyatt's head on his shoulders for a rookie. Listening to him on Door Bumper Clear podcast, if anybody's seen that, agreed. I think he was great on that. He's been on that show multiple times. He sounds like a really, really smart young kid, knows what he's doing, and like I said, I think he has a very bright future. I just at 9-1 to win it all this year, like, man, it's just that seems like such a tall order. And Nico, fuel issues, SVG ran 6th in that Phoenix race, he says. So there you go.
Indeed. All right, I'm going to lump the next 3 together because I don't think. Okay.
Oh, you don't. Oh, to continue, you don't think what?
Well, listen, I'm going to lump the next 3 together. You break one out as you need to. Here we go. Riley.
Why? Wait, I want to hear the rest of because you don't think what, Rod?
Because I don't think I don't think any of these 3 really hold a candle to the upper part of this. I think there's some people below them and the people above them that have a chance, but.
This is the Xfinity Series show for you, friends. We do not agree on things. This is my favorite section of the entire futures market right here, Rob.
It's not mine.
This is my favorite set. And let's start. Riley Herbst, 12-1, Bet365, and DraftKings. Like he just look what he did last week. It's Riley Herbst
last week,
yeah,
but I've seen what he's done up until that point. Like 9 top 10s in 20 races.
Season, yeah, I get it. But look at how good he was at the end of last season, right? When we're all of a sudden like, okay, here's this new Riley Herbst. Starts the season out slow, but they've started to figure things out. Now he's got another win. So he's been able to do it multiple times. We've seen it from him. His teammate just won the championship last year. When was the last time we saw Ford teammates win back-to-back championships in the Cup Series the last 2 years, right? Like, Riley Herbst is a kid who can get it done in a 12-1 when his teammate is all the way second on the board at 4-1, or not even 4-1, plus at 3-1. And he just, like, he schooled Almirola, a Cup Series veteran, and Custer last week at Indy. I get that Indy and Phoenix aren't comparable, although if you listen, was it maybe that was Pocono they were comparing to Phoenix, but where I think it was Dirty Mo was comparing them. But anyways, Riley Herbst at 12-1 very much piques my interest, and this is like, I'm not really in love with betting on anything above this. Sam Mayer at plus 550, I think I would definitely take, but this is where we start to get into, I want some Riley Herbst at 12-1.
I look at 10 races at Phoenix. He has 6 top 10s. Yeah, he's got 4 top 5s, but he's got no wins. His best finish in that is a 4th place finish.
That's like, I'm trying to think of who else we would like throw everything else they've ever done out, and this is completely different. That's the old Riley Herbst. He's been in good cars forever. He was at Gibbs cars. He's been in I think he was was he in JRM at one point?
No, he's only been in the 18 and 19.
Okay, yeah, but still, yeah, he's been in good cars. But we talked about how overrated he was, how he's only keeping his ride because of Monster. Now he's going to be a Cup Series driver for 2311 next year, Rod. Not officially yet, but it's going to happen. We know it. He could walk out a champion. 12-1, it's worth it.
24th place finish earlier in the year at Phoenix. You're not selling me, buddy. I am not buying that snake oil. Riley Herbst, yes, good driver, sure, but I don't think he's a champion.
Qualified 4th at Phoenix. Just had a bad day. Thank you, Nico, for that. Been quiet achiever, finding form now. I like it. Nico, your penalty from earlier has been reviewed and dismissed. You may continue on as is.
And now we open a new ticket and review that one, and you're going to get put in the penalty box again for that one. But I don't want any part of it. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine, whatever. But Riley Herbst not piquing my interest even at 12-1. Sheldon Creed.
Drum roll, please.
This one's yours, right? Sheldon Creed, 16-1.
20-1 over on Caesars. Do not walk, run. This is my favorite feature in the Xfinity Series. Sheldon Creed at 20-1. Rod, what is the fastest team in the Xfinity Series garage with the best cars?
It's JGR, but not Sheldon Creed.
It's JGR, okay? He who shall not be named, plus 250 at the top of the board. If you put these two drivers in comparison with each other over the last few races, Rod, I would ask you which one has done better. You don't need to read the stats because I know the answer is Sheldon Creed. Look, he is in the fastest fucking cars out there. He's one of the 2 full-time JGR cars. This car is very fast. He continually delivers results that are good. He cannot get over that fucking hump to win. And I mean, second place. And then, oh my God, they're touching down the stretch. Here they come. Daniel Hemrick is a champion. He just won his first ever race. That was Daniel Hemrick, who sucks, who can't win in anything, who only has 1 career win. He's a champion. I get it, but he's not even good. Sheldon Creed dominated the Truck Series. He's a Truck Series champion. He can get it done. He's a veteran driver. He's in the fastest fucking equipment out there. I know that he's been so fucking close so many times in the Xfinity Series. He keeps coming in second. Maybe he finishes second at Phoenix and still wins the championship because you can get it done. But I think he's going to win at Phoenix. He's going to get the championship 20-1. This is the same thing we talk about with Sheldon Creed every single time we bet on him in the Xfinity Series. When he's 6-1 to win a race, no thank you, not interested, don't want to talk about it, don't want to look at him, don't want to even consider it. If he was 6-1 in the championship futures here, absolutely fucking not getting anywhere close to him. We wouldn't even talk about him. We just skip right over him. But at 20-1 in the best equipment in the field, why can he not get it done, Rod? 20-1? That's what this is all about, the number. Way too big of a number. This is my favorite Xfinity Series bet at this point in time.
I'm going to clip this one out. I'm going to save this one. I'm going to put it under my pillow. And when I get
play it after Phoenix, when everybody's cashing their tickets.
After Phoenix, when everybody's like, what the hell did I do listening to Cody about Sheldon Creed?
But that's the thing at 20-1, if he doesn't win it, it was 20-1. Who cares?
I get it. I'm not sold. Like Sheldon Creed, if there was a bet for him to finish second in the championship standings, I would put that.
And you would have taken that same bet with Daniel Hemrick, a much, 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 not even close, less talent than Sheldon Creed. It's so not even close. And yet Daniel Hemrick beat Austin Cindric, who owned the Xfinity Series and was this close to being a back-to-back champion. Rod, listen to this, okay? 5th, 4th, 26th, that was Chicago. 33rd, 2nd, 5th, 2nd, 9th, 13th, 36th, 4th, 6th, 3rd. These are Sheldon Creed's results over the last however many races I just read off. Like, he's consistently good. He's consistently hanging in there. He's consistently showing up. He finished 3rd place at Phoenix. He was right there in the mix. And his teammate, his teammate, who keeps fucking things up, who's plus 260, is the guy who won that race. Short flats, JGR, ring a bell. Come on, Rod.
No, sorry, bud. This one you will not sway me on. I will never go to the Sheldon. I love the Canadian that's not a Canadian that's from California, but I just can't not in good conscience.
Apparently you don't.
Sign off on this one. But I do. I want to have many, many beers with him. He looks like he's already had many, many beers, but I want to have many, many beers with him as well. So, yeah.
He's a champion of the sport already. He's won in the Truck Series. He knows how to get it done.
But how many Xfinity Series wins does he have?
It doesn't matter. He's going to have at least one.
Ricardo, real DGens will drop $1,000 on Creed. Hey, I tell you
that
what,
is Ricardo's advice, and he does not reflect the views of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I love it. All right, let's move on to another.
Nico's taking Creed over Smith. Oh shit!
Wow. Well, that much I think I could do. I will go with you on that one, Nico. Because I still don't believe.
I'm not going. I mean, and it pays $19,000. Jeez, Ricardo, don't tempt me too much to drive to Iowa tonight. But I will give you a little hint. He is in the parlay, Rod. He made the parlay over on the Underdog short. Make sure you go check that out.
Gotta love that.
He brings that number up big time for you.
Gotta love it. All right. Speaking of number that's already up, AJ Allmendinger 25-1. This is why I lumped these three together. Is because I want to cheer for this to happen, but I've had my heart broken so very many times over all three of them. I want no part of it. AJ Allmendinger, love the guy, documented everything that he's ever done in his entire life. He's been in that championship mix for the last few seasons. He's going to be in that championship mix again this season. Problem is, though, he's so emotional. He's like me. He's his own worst enemy. Like, he'll have success sitting right there at the palm of his hand, and then something happens, a cool suit, power steering. He just gets like a fly in the cockpit, and he's just pissed off, and he wants to swat around at it. I don't know what it is, but look, I'm just not going to bet AJ for a championship. Can he do it? I don't know. That loud silence was me just thinking about whether or not he could do it, but I don't know. I think he could. He is a very capable driver. He's a very talented driver. The dude is the best road course driver to ever put him strap it up in the Xfinity Series, right? He can win on ovals now too. He can win all over the place. But AJ is definitely the KFB of Xfinity this year.
No.
Well, okay, but better finishes for AJ.
He doesn't. Yeah, he's had a better season probably, and he doesn't belong in the KFB conversation. Sorry, they're not comparable.
I would say only from an aspect of they can beat themselves in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
that's
for sure. Yeah, to that degree, yeah. He is 28-1 on Caesars if you want to get the best number. Can AJ Allmendinger show up and win? Yeah, I think that he could. You would probably need a little bit of help. What does the schedule? So the final three for Xfinity are Vegas, Homestead, Martinsville. I feel like that doesn't help him a ton. If the Roval is the last race in the round of 12. If that was in the round of 8, then you would have me thinking about this for sure, because he is going to win the Roval. He will beat us. That's the one race where he's going to beat SVG. Right now, AJ Allmendinger will win the Roval in the Xfinity Series and maybe the Cup Series if he runs that too, because he's fucking good there. But just I don't know. Even at 28-1, I'm not that interested. He could get it done, yeah, but it would be pretty surprising, and I don't think it's worth betting on.
Yeah, like I said, it's a matter of when we talk about placing bets that you want to cheer for and you want to root for, this is the exact opposite. I don't want to place this bet because I don't want the heartbreak when it doesn't happen. I don't want to be holding the ticket as he's going for that championship and then pop goes the power steering and then I'm out, right? I don't want that heartbreak. If he wins, I want to love it.
Power steering.
Right? Is that not how this goes?
That's you're not right.
Childhood.
Why does Bet365 have Ryan Truex listed on here? What are we doing? PSA, do not bet on Ryan Truex to win the who I don't even know who that is supposed to be. Don't bet on Ryan Truex to win the Xfinity Series Championship. He is not even eligible. So
I thought I saw Eric Almirola on somebody's list too. I was like, don't do that either. That's not
probably. Well, and a lot of times, because NASCAR will leave them a lot of times in the standings, because they're the most recent guy to drive the car. Yeah, like he's 12th in the playoff standings, which he's not even eligible for points. So why these fucking interns, man? They're locking people in when they aren't locked in. They're including people who aren't in the thing. But
Cody wants a word with the interns for sure. All right, I've got another driver that I want to bring up, and that is Sammy Smith at 30-1.
You want to bring him up?
I want to bring him up, but I don't necessarily want to talk about him for very long because I don't think that there's a reason to talk about Sammy Smith at 30-1.
There is not.
Okay, good. Next,
he's in JRM equipment. That's the positive thing I will say about him, bro.
Okay, there you go. That's all I wanted to hear from you, Cody. I just wanted to hear those words from your mouth. No, Sammy ain't winning a championship.
Yeah, no interest, especially at this short of a number.
He's sitting outside of the playoff picture right now, so there might not even be a chance for him to make the playoffs. He's got to win.
Really?
Yeah, he's actually sitting outside. I'm looking.
He's in. He's 11th. So, and you get 12 in the Cup Series or in the next.
Where are you looking? Because I'm looking right at NASCAR's site, and I'm see
looking at NASCAR's app.
First. I got Austin Hill in second, Chandler Smith in third, Mayer.
Yeah, we're looking at something different.
Yeah, AJ Allmendinger 99 points to the good, Creed 66 points to the good.
I think that must be Well, I don't know.
Because I've got picture.
That's the playoff standings. That's what I was telling you earlier. So that's if the playoffs started today, where they would be. But that doesn't make sense either, because why is Sammy Smith in 14th? But they also have Eric Almirola in there. That's where I get so confused with NASCAR, because in the driver standings right now, he's in 11th place. Okay, so that's what makes sense about this.
Mm-hmm.
We have guys who have won who are farther behind him in the point standings. Like Correct. SVG is higher than him because he's got to win. Okay, so I get what you're saying. So he is on the outside looking in
right now.
But you gotta have to take Eric Almirola out of there. So he would be 3 points behind Ryan Sieg.
Yep.
So he isn't locked in. So yeah, okay. Again, this is NASCAR. This is their own site. Could you make it less confusing?
No.
Jesus Christ. All right, we spent entirely too much time on Sammy Smith, Rod. Parker Kligerman, not interested.
Wait. You skipped right over Shane Vegas.
Okay. I was looking at the wrong book.
SVG, baby, 35-1.
SVG, I am interested in, Rod. 35-1 on the DraftKings, and the Bet365. If SVG were to win the championship, right? He's loading up playoff points. He's got a ton. He's so far earned more playoff points than anyone. It's 17 because all these fucking road course wins and stage wins, right? So that's helped him out a ton. Now he's not doing great in the regular season. Just standings, he's 13th technically. Now he is locked in the playoffs for multiple wins, but he's not going to get the bonus points there, so that's going to hurt him a little bit. But the way the schedule lines up, he should be really good at Coda or at the Roval. While I think AJ probably wins that race, that could help him get into the round of 8. And so the way that SVG wins this is He just consistencies his way in there. Other people have problems and trouble around him and fall off. He consistencies his way into the Final Four. Then we get into the Final Four. One person has mechanical issues, one person wrecks, and it's a two-man race with him and somebody else, and he could win it. 35-1, I think JB is correct, saying no harm to sprinkle SVG at that price. I agree. I think that that is not bad. Nico saying he was 67-1 before Chicago, not kicking myself for not getting in on it. Yeah, that would have been really nice. I think even at 35-1, it's worth a little bit of a sprinkle. Like, you look at some of these other guys, AJ Allmendinger, like, I have more faith in SVG getting it done than AJ. You're getting 10 more points on it too, which is nice. Sammy, so I'd take SVG over Sammy Smith all day.
I'd take SVG over Sheldon Creed. There, I said it. I don't even care.
I mean, in the fact that Sheldon Creed knows to fuck up a wet dream, absolutely. Like, he could definitely fuck it up. So, yeah, I mean, he's going to need help, but he could put himself in position and just have such a solid day, 5th, 7th place finish, and be the champion because the people around him fall out. I think at the number, worth a little sprinkle. I'm not calling my shot on it, saying it's going to happen, but it's probably going to get shorter because he's been running. He's been running pretty good on some of these ovals, Rod. You've got Watkins Glen still in the regular season. That's probably another SVG win there. You've got the Roval in the playoffs, which is a win or second place to AJ in that race. So yeah, I don't mind getting some SVG at this price.
It's just a matter of he's done this. I mean, he's gotten it done. He's got 3 wins this season. Whereas, again, I'm going to bring up Sheldon Creed. I know they're all on road courses. It doesn't matter, but three wins are 3 wins, right? If Sheldon Creed could win a race at all, that would be fantastic.
And I want to say, don't overreact to how good he is at road, right? Like, after he wins at Chicago, people are like, "Oh, could he be the champion?" Like, yeah, he's been really good on the road courses, not as good on the ovals. But Nico's brought this up a few times. He's coming back to the ovals for a second time. He's going to improve. This isn't, what is Jesse Love? 18, 19 years old. SVG, he's a man. He's 40. Okay, maybe he's not 40, but I saw that Gundy clip today again, and I always think it's great. So got to throw it in there when you can. But SVG is a man. He's a grown-ass man, a veteran race car driver. Yes, maybe he's a rookie in this series this season, but he's been doing it for a long time. He's learned enough on these things. He can improve enough, and just, again, he could 3rd, 4th place finish his way into 7th place finish his way into winning this title. So 35-1, I think it is worth it. Parker Kligerman, Rod, next.
I was going to say, there's no way in hell. There's only 2 more drivers that really even intrigue me the rest of the way down this list.
There's 2 drivers that intrigue me a lot, Rod.
Yeah, and these are the last 2 on the list because I'm pretty sure you're not talking about Anthony Alfredo or Parker Redstone.
I am not talking about those guys, no.
Yeah, right. So the last 2 drivers that I think are interesting are
and specifically go to Caesars because they have way better numbers on both these guys.
Ryan Sieg at 80-1. Holy hell. And Brandon Jones at 75-1. So both of
Brandon Jones at 75-1, Rod. Let me read you this. 2nd place finish, a 3rd place finish, a 1st place finish, 3 7th place finish. Brandon Jones has been pretty good at Phoenix. JDK, this is for you. Kick me again. Come on, man. It's 75-1. I get it. He's Brandon Jones. But if he can luck his way into the Final Four, first of all, he's going to need to find his way into the playoffs, which he should be good at Michigan. He should be good at Daytona. So maybe he can win one of those and get into the playoffs. But then you come into the playoffs. Kansas opens it up. He's good there. Talladega, he's good there. If that can get him into the next round, he can be pretty good at Vegas. If he can build up enough of a buffer and get to Phoenix, Brandon Jones is a good driver. 75-1. He's in JRM equipment, Rod. Again, let's go back up to the top of the board. And Justin Allgaier is a plus 425. Sam Mayer is a plus 550. He's in the same equipment that they're in. He would need a little bit of help, yes, but at 70, what is he? Where'd the number go? 75-1. Yeah, for Brandon Jones. I absolutely think this is definitely worth a bet because there's a scenario for it to happen. He's going to need help to get there, yes, but if he can get there, he could get it done.
Brandon Jones currently sitting 112 points outside of the cut in 15th place, taking out Eric Almirola that's still in 14th place. So yeah, he's going to need a win.
Which also taking out Almirola brings that number down because he's actually chasing Sieg instead of Almirola. So
Yes. 60
you
some
take 43 points off that. So, but they still have 6 regular season races. Like, you can whittle that down. If he could get a win, would be ideal, obviously, to get in the playoffs. He might not. That's the thing with Brandon Jones. He might not even make the playoffs, Rod. But if he does, he could get there and have a chance at it, which is what you're looking for at 75-1. And then Ryan Sieg really is kind of the same case at 80-1. He's been in fast cars. He's been in good cars this season. It's been improved from him. Another veteran of the sport, right? He's been around a long time. I'm only betting this because it's 80-1. Honestly, like over on DraftKings, he's only 65-1. I don't know that that's even a big enough number for him. But if you get him at 80-1 on Caesars, I think it's worth a little sprinkle. These have been SHR prepared cars this season on a lot of these tracks. If he were to make the Final Four, I think you're probably getting an SHR prepared car again, especially if for some reason the SHR cars aren't in there, which if a guy like Ryan Sieg is making it, maybe 1 or 2 of them aren't in there, right? You're going to have to open up some spots somewhere. So I think that both of these guys are very attractive. Brandon Jones, especially 75-1 in a JRM car. His results have always been up and down. It's been hit or miss, but if he can hit a couple of times and get into the Final Four and hit that week, it could be the week that you want to be, have him now at 75-1. And then same thing for Sieg at 80-1.
Neither of these drivers are going to be ones that are going to be completely dominant down the stretch and win a bunch of races. They'll at best, if they both get into the playoffs, will be the guys that will dink and dunk their way down the field and eventually push it in for a 1-yard touchdown to get it across the goal line. So yeah, I mean, look, if you're into long shots, that's the 2 that you could do. But
again, long shots for a reason, but there's a case to be made. We don't just give out long shots to give out long shots, Rod. We've proven that over the years with this show. There's a case to be made, and it could happen. That's what makes it worth small sprinkles, but worth betting on.
Indeed. All right. Well, then I feel like that's about the last guy on the list that we could talk about.
There's nobody else to talk about.
Not going to go down this.
You've got Alfredo, Retzloff, Williams, Burton, Clements, Weatherman, Kyle Sieg. You can still bet on Haley Deegan. She's not even eligible anymore. So there's nobody else that even. I mean, Alfredo, 200-1. Like, even that I think just doesn't have enough legs to even consider it.
Leland Honeyman, 1,000-1, baby. That's my call. I'm calling my shot for Leland Honeyman. That guy, always getting it done in DFS. We love him.
Great in DFS, love him there. But all right, Rod, if you're asking me for some picks right now, who would I bet? Sam Mayer plus 550, Sheldon Creed 20-1. Where was the Herbst? So those are both on Caesars. I would take Herbst at 12-1 on DraftKings and Brandon Jones at 75-1 on Caesars.
SVG 35-1 for me, and then I don't know. After that, if I'm picking one of the favorites, probably Cole Custer to repeat at 3-1. I think he's the guy that could be like, you know what, screw this, I'm done playing and end up winning this one. So if I have to get one at short odds, it's 3-1 for that, and then 35-1 for SVG. Because look, like Nico said, man, the dude, and like you said, he's 35 years old. He's been driving for longer than most of these kids have been around.
35 years old.
The man. Like, he's been driving longer than some of these guys have been alive. So I think he's got an opportunity to learn and get better. And he's done it over the course of the season already. And I'm scared to see what the rest of the season looks like for him. So 35-1 for SVG and 3-1 for Cole Custer as the championship.
You can only place one. Sheldon Creed 20-1. Book it.
Good night, everybody. It was fun listening to. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not even gonna entertain that one at all. So. All right, Cody. Well, then we got to do this all over again with Truck Series. That's gonna be fun. That may be a much
to do this all over with the Truck Series. Route.
You're right. We get to do this again with Truck Series.
You think these numbers are short? The Truck Series is very short, but Rod, I'm telling you right now, I've got my eyes on one guy. Yeah, there's one guy. Oh, it's just like Sheldon Creed, but maybe even a better case, and I think you're gonna like it too. Can't wait to talk about the Truck Series tomorrow.
Me either. And as a matter of fact, because this has been fun. This has been a lot of fun. When you take off the stress and pressure of having to make picks each and every day, just to be able to talk through these things and kind of walk it out with everybody like it wants. So, all right, we'll do this again tomorrow for the Truck Series. But in the meantime, Cody, let's send everybody away and let them know where you can find, or they can find you outside of this world.
Yep. Follow me over on the X at Husker_Zeeb. You can find all my stuff there. Follow the show as well at NASCAR Gambling. Over to our YouTube page, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. That subscribe button helps us out a ton, even if it's just you, one person at a time. It's how we build this thing. We appreciate all the help, and we'll see you tomorrow for the Truck Series.
Indeed. In full honesty, we've kind of plateaued on that YouTube channel. So we want to pick that thing back up again and have it reach 1,000, because I heard that there's magical things that happen when you hit 1,000. So if you like this show and you have not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, again, you don't have to watch the videos. Just subscribe. Just help us out that way and give us a good opportunity to find out what magic lies beyond the 1,000 yard mark. But in the meantime, I'm on Twitter at RJ Villagomez. Link in the bio, everything I got going on. Whether it's here, I'm working on stuff. I'm working on some stuff. So let's see if that comes to fruition. And if you want to find me there, you can find me there as well. We'll see you tomorrow for the Truck Series. Until then, let's go racing and let it ride.